The stage is mine. It's where I shine.
So this was a game from locals the other day.
Mhm.
I misquoted when I said it was ice water. Apparently that was a different deck. Jesse
Mm.
switched last minute and decided to just play mono water, as far as I
Mhm.
understand. I have not
Okay.
previewed this game. I saw the last maybe minute of it.
Dope. Hi, welcome to ShantottoCast, particularly the cast part of ShantottoCast. We're casting a game that happened at locals, and
Yeah.
we're kind of getting ready because tournament season's coming up, and uh, we have the upcoming tournament at Good Games that we're going to be casting. So we just wanted to kind of hop back into the saddle and just kind of record a game of two people we'll hopefully be seeing at that tournament.
Yeah, I know Brian's definitely got his spot secured. I'm not entirely sure if Jesse ended up getting a ticket or not. But I know these are two players that people who've watched our streams before should be familiar with,
Instead of five,
because
yeah.
they have both been there. Obviously, one of them, Bahamut Brawl 2 playmat, that's pretty straightforward. Um, but Jesse rolling up with the Masters sleeves,
Yeah.
gotta be all fancy.
Gotta flex.
Um,
Also, sorry, you just said like, oh, he attended. He won.
I mean, sure, yes, yeah, no,
he
you're right.
won it all.
I did particularly leave that detail out. Yes, my mistake. I
Yeah.
did not mean to short Brian's skills.
SMH in my
He is
head.
most certainly a skilled player. Jesse also very skilled. He came in second at one of our Summoners Cups that we ran with Bill, and
Ooh, let's look at that hand.
he was running a Mobius deck, which is super cool. And
Sorry.
Brian has to reveal a very interesting hand. Wow.
The double obby is really
Yeah,
funny.
that's crazy.
Oh, that's really crazy. Because like
Yep.
God, I'm already liking this game. When I saw Brian's opening hand, I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. Like knowing what he's keeping is really weird. So Jesse's able to hit two backups turn one, which is always nice. But
Oh, and we see Brian go into
yeah.
another. He has
Oh,
two Tyros in hand, which is super neat.
yeah, he wants
Um,
to play the Tyro on curve. It seems.
yeah, I
Because I was a
mean,
little
there's
surprised
no
that he
reason
didn't just
not
like.
to.
I guess because
He's got a two drop in hand. You don't. I mean, there's no way you don't just play the two drop first.
yeah. Then he knows. Oh wow, Jesse just passing. All right.
Yeah.
Then he knows like he's playing against Earth Ice or he's playing against Mono Water, right? So like
Yep.
he knows like oh I could kind of take my turn this game, or take my time this game. Pitches a Moogle and another Tyro, which is
I
like
mean, that's exactly what you do. There's no reason to
that.
grip those guys.
Oh, it's perfect. Like it's just
Yeah.
one of those things. 'Cause especially, I stopped playing Tyro in my Earth Ice, but like whenever getting two Tyros in hand always felt kind of good because it's like this is out of the way. I don't have to worry about this. Like I would have liked to get this as an EX, but it's not a huge deal. So he fetches Iridia, which is also probably a good play. I wish I have to admit I don't know too much about the Warrior of Light deck. I played against Brian. I might have played against this build of Brian's probably twice.
Yeah, I think you
But
played against it two or three times. It performs. It certainly performs.
yeah, yeah.
Um, there was one of the other guys at the same locals was running the Matiski loop
Yeah.
with that decks your opponent out from Zidane.
Yeah. Also,
Um,
really quick, Jesse playing super reserved with just tapping to putting out another backup. So like, he's kind of giving Brian what he wants because Brian's just able to just like kind of start building out that backup lineup.
yeah, well, and
But at the
Jesse's
same
playing
time,
very smart too because he's running those two drop summoners that you can basically Lail effect to cancel some summons. He really does. He knows the Amis are there, so he doesn't want to leave those. He doesn't want to leave himself vulnerable to that. He's got backups that explicitly cancel that.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, especially when playing against like Warrior of Light, that's what you want to be worried about. Pitches
Yep.
the Ami, adds the Ami back off of Creel. Okay.
And then Rydia goes down, pitching the Warrior of Light for it.
Warrior of Light exactly where you want him to be.
Yep.
The question. Oh, I was gonna say like I don't think Brian has a target.
I was like,
But
Jesse
he does.
accidentally indicated having his backups frozen, but that is not accurate to what was going on there. He's playing a 5-drop here. So you got Thornton. Okay, yeah, he's searching. That's a good card to play. Thornton is a card that got slept on for so long. Like, nobody used that card for a long time.
I mean, I don't know. I think he kind of deserves it. I think he's like, don't get me wrong. I think he's a good card, but I don't know. He never feels. Every time that I've played Thornton, I've hated it. Like every time I've played Thornton, I'm like, ooh, I get to search something, but I don't know. It's like eating like a bag of potato chips really fast, where like what before you do it and like while you're doing it, like this is awesome, and then you finish eating and you're like, I hate this.
How does it feel bad to search any card in your deck, like indiscriminately? I'd love to know how your brain works on that one.
You paid 5 for it. That's my issue.
Yeah, that's kind of worth it though. For an EX too, you hit the EX, you're like, oh cool, search anything.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is like I like Tyro, but I hated playing Tyro in the same way. Like it was just one of those things. It's like I just dumped 5 mana into this, but at least Tyro taps for all colors, you know.
Yeah, that's
Also,
all. That's fair.
Yeah.
Tyro also came out 5 sets after Thornton did.
Also, really quick, I have a theory. So I think Brian's playing really smart. So something that you might have noticed is that he put his hand down. I think he's like, this might be me looking a little too much into it. I think he was psychologically telling Jesse, like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Like, I have nothing I can do. And he doesn't do anything. Oh, okay. Interesting. Because I was expecting I was expecting him to cast the Asura for free and then untapping and then playing
the Ami.
Playing the Ami, yeah. Oh, hello?
Wait, interesting.
I think he just
Brian
wants to get rid of it in case it gets Leonard. That is, but at the same time, he has his 4 colors for.
I was gonna say, yeah, if he wants his 4 color, I think it's more of a I want a 4th color available. But back to the mind games thing, I do that when I play sometimes to just make my opponent wonder why I'm doing it, and it does sometimes psych people out. Other times it's like them just being like, okay, he's just putting his hand down. They just take it literally at face value. But
sorry, I'm laughing because I literally just looked up that Lunafreya because I'm like, I don't remember what that does.
Oh yeah, no, that card does not get run that often, but I like it a lot.
It's an interesting card and beautiful art too, but
it's gorgeous art.
That card does not see play.
No, yeah, not at all.
Oddly enough, I like people in our play group or people in our scene really like playing that card. I don't know why. I could think. Let's see, Avery. I've seen Avery running it. Jesse's runs it in any deck he runs water in. Tim was running it for a while. I think. I'm pretty sure Mariana runs it. So
yeah, but they're kind of like a subgroup though, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know. I could think of back when Juan was in our group. When he played Mono Water, I think he ran one.
Well, that's fair. I mean, it's a good card. I like its effect quite a lot, actually. I actually threw it into. I'm building a Water Lightning Scions, just for kicks and giggles. And I threw one of those. I threw a Lunafreya in there. It was like, oh, Thancred dies. Just replay Thancred. Like whatever. Replay a 7-drop. Whatever. Leviathan died. Replay Leviathan for free.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking about. Because like obviously getting that Leviathan out with Lunafreya is probably nuts. Like, and Lena just makes it so easy and so accessible to hit that Leviathan that 100%. Lunafreya really makes it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that Lunafreya was just like a one of, and I think it'd be like perfect as a one of, honestly.
Yeah. So Jesse playing Jekt, and Brian
Yep.
Brian sitting there with the Porum saying, "Yeah, attack. I'll get a summon back. See what happens."
Also, you and me too, Brian. I'm also googling what this card does. When he enters the field, choose one forward. If one or more forwards attacking this turn, choose one forward. If 3 or more forwards are attacking this turn, choose any number of summons, auto abilities, or action abilities. Cancel their effects. Okay. Interesting. That Jet is a interesting play.
I think Jesse just wanted a big body on field.
Maybe.
I can't think of another reason he's going to. Okay. Jesse cancels the Asura with a summoner. Interesting. Doesn't want Brian to reactivate and cast.
Which honestly, oh no, he asserted to get the Rydia back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm saying he doesn't. Well, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I worded that awkwardly, but effectively that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Get the
actually
Rydia back.
probably a good
You know,
hit.
play the Rydia. But yeah, that's a good hit. But yeah, no, like I think he wants a big. I think he just wants something big to make sure that Brian feels threatened. But Brian doesn't give it. Brian doesn't care. He's just like, yeah, I'll swing in. Jesse hits Larsa, and that's probably one of the worst possible early EXs in that deck.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you care about that. Also, running Larsa in this deck is another interesting choice. Let's see what he's. Do we know what he declared?
Jesse clearly
with,
has a lot of EXs available.
Do we know
So,
what
like,
he
it's not
declared
a
with
bad
Princess Sarah? I assume it was fire.
Princess Sarah would probably call wind.
He already has.
He has two other. I mean, he has two color fixing backups. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It doesn't ultimately matter too much. But I definitely want to see what he taps it for.
Yeah. Of course, the one time that Brian doesn't label it, he always labels it.
The one time he doesn't put the dice on it. Yeah.
Yeah, he always has those element dice. So like.
Oh wait, well no, but yeah, because I think in our game he put a different card under it to kind of say like, hey, this is it.
He sometimes does that. He'll do that with a crystal sometimes, but Lena.
There's Lena.
And he doesn't have enough cards in his break zone for the effect. At least I don't think so. Maybe he does.
Does he not? He should. I believe that's at least 8.
Nope. I'm not going to
Really?
rewind for
Wow.
it, but Brian, he's Jesse attacking in, no EX, which is good for him. Not that Brian needs the backup, but still.
Oh yeah, for some odd reason I thought Lena only removed 12, or I thought Lena removed 7 instead of 12.
Nope, it's 12.
Yeah, now that I look at his break zone, yeah.
Jesse might be like 1 or 2 under, but he's close.
I mean, the big thing is now Brian can't miss Dragon, so
that's 4. That's Warrior of Light.
Yeah.
That's a reactivation. Brian pulling the card under the table to pull out a different Princess Sarah for some reason, I guess. Totally what's going on here. Not at all that he just dropped the card.
That's how you change the element on Princess Sarah. You have to.
Yeah, you
she has to
remove her
leave
from
the field first.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong.
Yep. No jet effect to stop the Warrior of Light.
Yep. And Wool is ready to go in.
Yep.
But Brian's playing something else first, maybe? But what's he doing here? He reconsiders.
Because he doesn't have a way to reactivate Warrior of Light. Discarding...
Oh, Kusith. He's going to grab Rydia back.
Okay, yep, that's the play.
Okay.
Yep.
Jesse stops it.
Yeah. Also, Jesse running, I believe that's Oracle.
Geomancer?
Geomancer, that's it.
Yeah, it's only on the card,
Reading the card explains the card. But
Jesse gets a Cahullin hit. He puts a death counter on death timer on Warrior of Light. It's an Ash, bounce Porum.
Why not bounce the Warrior of Light?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, just put the death timer on it and bounce it. I think they're joking about that too.
Oh wait, I was like.
Or does Ash reduce? I think Ash reduces.
Yeah, Ash reduces.
Okay, I'm
because he didn't. That's why he hit Warrior of Light, because he doesn't want him to get the Porum effect. And then he's gonna Warrior. He's thinking.
Brian's looking at Jesse break zone, counting them.
Yeah, he's seeing
he
if
doesn't have not
Lena
enough.
can pop off.
Yeah.
And then he's double reading Lunafreya.
Yep.
Which I remember that was something that Brian told us that he wanted to work on.
Yeah.
Just reading cards more.
Because he usually does it, and then the one time he forgets is when it's fatal, and it always feels so bad for him.
Okay, that was really smart. He Warrior of Lighted his own Porum.
Porum, yep. Then he gets the Kusith to get Rydia back. Yeah. That's what you do. No, the amount of times I saw Brian in this locals kill his own Porum with this deck is pretty smart. People running this deck have been doing that a lot. That's a really good play to make.
Yeah, it's an insanely good play. But let's see where it goes from here. Because if I'm correct, it's back on. No, I believe Brian's still in main phase 2, right?
Yeah. Because
So
next main phase 1 will break the Warrior of Light, so we'll know that the turn is rolled over.
Yeah.
When that goes away.
Choose one card. Choose one forward. Brian's getting a lot off of this.
Brian's going for
Fusoya.
the whole Fusoya package.
Yeah.
So he's using multiple colors to cast the Fusoya.
Oh, he cancels it with the jet ability, which is actually a really nice grab.
Yeah, 100%.
Entirely because Fusoya would have gotten just so many.
The value off that would have been off the charts.
Oh yeah, that would have been nutso value. Oh yeah, because I was gonna say like, doesn't Jet only stop one of them? But Jet's
the
ability
Minwoo
stops all of
from
it. I
Jesse.
forgot.
Minwoo is a very good play here for the Warrior of Light counter.
Yeah. It definitely stops you from stops him from doing like the Rosa shenanigans of tap Warrior of Light on tap Warrior of Light.
Yep. Which, by the way, that tech coming out recently is hilarious to me. I love how that card went from 0 to hero, just because Warrior of Light exists.
The worst card in that entire starter deck just starts seeing play now.
I know, right? Well, I wouldn't say it's the worst, but it wasn't the best, but it was definitely it was a card that went unloved, and now it's getting some love. So.
Oh.
Yeah, Brian walks away, reconsidering the matchup, I suppose. I don't know what's going on
secretly, there. We can't see him, but he's currently walking behind Jesse to look at his hand.
I was going to say he's walking behind Jesse to slit his throat, but that works too.
Yeesh.
You know I like going exaggerated. I go all the way,
I suppose.
Extreme. No, these guys are good.
Should we fast forward to this part?
We should be done soon with that. Let's speculate a little bit more. Okay, maybe Brian is running off to, I don't know, buy more cards so he can slip another 5 or 10 cards in his deck. Who knows?
There we go. We're playing. He's playing an unset card in his deck where he has to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, he just slipped in a magic card.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you ever seen that picture where it's somebody like playing, like they're in front of a Monopoly board, and they have like an Uno card, a Yu-Gi-Oh card, a Pokemon card, a Magic card, and like a regular playing card.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, I think I have Yahtzee," and the caption is just, "What the hell are you playing?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of there.
For a second, I was like, why would he pitch the Heka just to cast a Kusith? And then it just immediately hit me. I'm like, oh, yeah. So you could play Warrior of Light for free and get like the Insano bonuses off of it.
Yep.
See, what I'm surprised by is that he hasn't played his Une. Because Jet is just like the perfect target for this. Well, maybe it's not. Let me double check Jet. No, it is the perfect target for it. Because like he's only running the Jet just for the special. Like otherwise, return the Chosen forward. Like the thing is, like he doesn't want to Jet return the Warrior of Light or the Fusoya back to hand.
Yeah,
so
those are both
much of a
really
reason for
rough
him to do that.
targets. Yeah, the Une, I think Brian is trying not to overextend, because all it takes is one board wipe, and he's in a really rough spot. So
yeah, but the only thing he's worrying about is Leviathan. And that's the thing, is he can also deal with the Leviathan right now. Because so he's completely untapped out. Well, okay, that's actually a pretty good argument as to why not. Because he's playing 3-drop Leviathan, which is the draw 2. Oh, Jesse's running an EX variant, which is very interesting.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, he had a lot of EXs.
Yeah.
So he drew another Leviathan. It looked like.
Puts a card on top of his deck, shows that he doesn't have any cards in his sleeve, and then gets the Leviathan. Gets a jet. Yeah, that is a pretty good idea. But what else is he getting off of this Leviathan? Is he just doing it for the draw? Oh, and bouncing Fasoya? Which I'm not sure if that's the best idea either.
I mean, I don't think it makes that big a difference right now. From his perspective, I don't think it makes that big a difference what gets played or what, back again. I would rather... I mean, here's the thing. He knows he can cancel it.
Yeah.
So he's not too worried about it right now because Brian saw him grab the Jack back. It was telegraphed information. So they both know the other is holding answers. So they're both trying to play around each other.
Oh,
there's the Une.
Yeah, because obviously also paying 6 for it, which is interesting. Instead of
he doesn't want to remove any of his summons because he doesn't know which ones he wants to grab back yet.
Yeah, I suppose, but like at least coming from my perspective, like you don't super mind losing the Heka.
But I think he wants to have a board wipe available. That's his only because he's Shantotto'd already. He doesn't have the other board wipe available. He wants to hang on to that board wipe. Play reserved, and if he needs to grab it, he grabs it. If he doesn't need it, then cool, he doesn't need it. But making sure that it's there if he wants it is, I think, just a big deal on its own. It's also telling Jesse that, like, hey, I'm going to play a lot of summons, and if you can't deal with it, I'm going to bowl you over.
Yeah. Like, that's the other thing that I'm, like, kind of confused by, because it's... I don't know. Because you're right, he is kind of narrowing his choices with Une if he RFGs 2 summons. But...
Yeah, like especially if he leaves one of in there and Jesse, decides to play with Brian's break zone. Like, granted, the Minwoo is there, so the Jekt isn't going to die to Heka. Mm-hmm. But still, the Lena will go down.
Yeah.
And he really doesn't want that right now because he wants to be ready for that Lena effect when he needs it.
Yeah. I also just realized Amaterasu does not stop Leviathan enough because you can't finish him off with Warrior of Light if he has Minwoo out. Yep. Which, Minwoo, I think we talked about this in... Where did we talk about Minwoo? We talked about Minwoo in one episode where I said that like now he's kind of underwhelming, and I still stand by that.
Yeah, but I think he at least has a place right now.
Yeah.
Not a huge
at
one,
this point,
but ping damage is relevant.
Yeah. Because at this point, I wonder the relevance of running a Minwoo, right? Because, Final Fantasy, or I'm trying to think of like what's Water's like worst matchups, right? Like one of your worst matchups is going to be aggro. Like you're gonna have trouble against 13. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have trouble. You're probably gonna have some trouble against Soiree, I imagine, because you don't want to bounce the.
Well,
maybe not.
I don't know about the Soiree matchup. I think the Soiree matchup is decent because they're both probably trying to play a pretty comfortable tempo or mid-range game.
Yeah.
Unless Soiree just goes like all in. But here we go. Brian's playing the Fasoya back.
He's overpaying for Fasoya.
Yep.
To get all 5 colors. And then, so it looks like he's getting the... Okay. So let's see. He's getting
Jesse is going to pay 6 for Leviathan.
Adding back Jet.
Probably, yeah.
And the other thing is Brian can't Miss Dragon in response, even if he does have it.
Yeah, Miss Dragon wouldn't cancel that. It's too big.
Yeah, and then, he's bouncing the Warrior of Light because it can't be played.
Yeah. Which is actually a really good pick, because that makes it a short-term dead card.
Ooh.
But Brian's going to get Une back to cast use Une to get Asura back, and then cast the Asura to reactivate everything, which is super, super smart.
Yep. There's the 4.
And then
Warrior of Light.
Yep.
Tapped the Sarah just to give Warrior of Light a boost.
Yep.
Which confirms that Sarah wasn't chosen for Ice or Lightning.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Is this finally the time when Brian's actually gonna like push forward a little bit more? Because like this game, I can see why this game took so long. Like it's like stonewalling versus stonewalling. It's like an episode of Death Note in here.
That's a really good analogy, and I hate that you're right.
The question is who's light and who's L. Sorry, please don't tell me he just Leviathaned.
I think he did.
He just Leviathan Warrior. Why? Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's a choice.
I guess to avoid because I think so. My guess is that Brian was in combat.
Yeah.
So he did it to avoid the attack.
Yeah, and that's fair because he can swing then ping, but well, the ping wouldn't matter. And there's Rydia off of the Une, a spare Une rather.
Yep, she gets her 2 counters, and we immediately know what he wants to cast.
Yep.
The question is, will he? Is he just going to do it?
I think he...
Yep, Chocobo. Yeah. Oh, targeting Fusoya. Interesting. I thought he was going to target Warrior Light
Fusoya
again
next
for some
turn
reason.
if he wants to.
But
he doesn't. Or he does it
now.
this turn. That's cool too. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I figured he'd wait till next turn, but yeah.
Rydia goes up to 4. I just realized.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pitching the Sarah specifically to get the color combination.
Yep, grab the Chocobo back off the...
Gets the Chocobo back, so he can use it next turn.
Yeah.
And then Rydia goes up to 4.
And he can just free cast Ami if necessary.
Yeah. I wonder, is he gonna... Well, no, if he jets... Everything's already on the stack, because like Rydia's effect pops off, Fusoya's effect pops off. So if he jets right now, he can stop the Rydia. Oh! No, okay.
Put that eject on top of
Rydia goes up to
deck.
4.
Yep, that
he
resolves.
Gets the draw.
Cool.
Chocobo goes back to hand. Ooh, I just saw what he drew. But
there's still plenty of time left on this replay, so they are not done yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say he does not play that Sophie. There's no way he plays that Sophie. There's no reason to play that Sophie.
No, there really is no reason for it.
He would deal 1 point of damage against an EX deck. But the thing is, he's already threatening game. Like, he would rather try to push through next turn and put him at 6 and then drop the surprise Sophie when Jesse's, like, out of resources.
Yeah, pretty much. Because he can Tyro the Sophie suit. If he takes damage at all, he can eventually Tyro the Sophie. He can, he's fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Brian is terribly threatened right now. But Jesse is... Looks like Lena effect. Yeah, he's choosing his targets for keeping. It looks like he's keeping those guys in break. 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Keeping those in break zone.
Yeah.
Those 3 in break zone. Brian's just checking here what got removed. Looks like actually a pretty healthy spread of summons and forwards.
Yeah.
And Leviathan gets played.
Leviathan.
And I think that's one of the best ways to cast Leviathan there.
I mean, in my opinion, it's the reason the deck works. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, it just works, TM. So, because, like, I don't think he has a... Oh, okay, he does have the Amaterasu, which he's going to free cast. Or he's going to pay for it. Interesting. So Amaterasu, I assume he's stopping the bounce a forward ability, and then he's letting him bounce it back up.
I mean, if he bounces Shantotto, Brian doesn't mind that. Brian doesn't mind that one bit.
Oh, did he just abstain? Or is he bouncing Rydia?
Oh, no.
And he's free casting the... Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, now I see his line.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes a lot of
he
sense.
Ami'd the... He might have... Did he Ami the Leviathan? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was confused as to why... I was like, why did he target... So, because, like, right now, Jesse has
Chocobo
no
bounce
good targets
Fusoya
to
again,
hit
oh no.
for Leviathan, so I think he stopped the backup bounce.
Yep.
God, that was actually probably the best takedown of a Leviathan I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, that's nutty.
Brian's gonna
So
cast a Fusoya, pitching a Fusoya
yeah,
for play.
overpays.
Jesse's gonna. What's going on here?
Looks like they're figuring out a ruling.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because he
Oh
bounced the Fusoya,
yeah. So he
but he
kills
still gets the
Rydia.
Fusoya effects.
Yeah. So they just rewound for a second there. Okay. So
Yeah.
then Brian doesn't get the free cast of Chocobo. It looks like, or does he? Yeah, he gets
No,
the
he
Chocobo
gets the free
back.
best. He gets the free cast of Chocobo because he played. Okay, so at least how without hearing Mike, basically my understanding of it is that he cast Chocobo targeting Fusoya. Leviathan effect goes onto the stack. He used it to kill the Rydia. Chocobo getting Fusoya back, and then he still plays the Fusoya and he's running through the effects right now.
Yeah. So he gets the Chocobo back from Grave because of Fusoya. And now we're just picking what else is going on here. I mean, they're running through the list, checking it twice, finding out who's naughty or nice.
Yep, Santa Claus is coming to town.
I want to see a Santa hat on that Fusoya though.
I would actually kill for that. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, card altering community, do it.
Yeah, we haven't gotten into so bouncing the Lena because the Lena really can't do much, and then putting Leviathan on top of deck, which makes sense. Fusoya does not have haste, but Brian has his line to win. So swings
Yeah.
gets a summon off of Une. I assume you want the Amaterasu. Why wouldn't he just swing with?
Because he doesn't want to put Jesse at damage 5, probably. He doesn't want to do it. Probably doesn't want to do damage unless he's ready to. For
Wait, why did the Une die? I think. Oh, Leviathan saw the Lena go back to hand off of Fusoya.
Oh, so he gets to kill the Une. So Brian's just
Yeah, so
on top of the stack to get a summon back, and then
Yeah.
yeah, okay. That's another reason
So he
Brian
only
doesn't have
has-
lethal.
Yeah, so he only has one attacker. Which I think if Brian played that slightly differently, I think he could have avoided that.
And I think Jesse's biding his time.
Yeah. Leviathan draw 2, put 1 on top. He's trying to get another good EX off. Yeah, because I think
He had one on top and one.
takes the lightning, bouncing Warrior of Light. A really goofy way to make Brian discard now that he has 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, he forces a disc. That's actually really. That's actually a. I don't know if that was intentional, but I mean, that's still a really funny funny way to go about things. I think Brian will end up pitching what looked like the Rosa in his hand. I don't think he cares to have it right now.
He might, or he might be trying to. I think he's trying to get another line to get Rydia back out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he'd have to overpay, but I'm not sure how much he hates that. Like, I think he does not mind overpaying a little bit.
Well, the other thing is he can't cast the Shantotto, so he might pitch the Shantotto for the Kusith, grab Rydia back or Une back. Yep.
Pitching the Toto.
Read it. Yep, I read it. Let's go. And then he's getting Une. Yep. Yep. There we go. Yep. Right on cue.
And then now he's going to remove the summons.
Yep. Pitch. Get rid of it. Yep.
Something. Your break zone. Okay, for a second I thought the Lena was preventing him from Une RFGing earlier, but Lena only specifies from her controller's break zone.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so he pitches Sophie and what was the other one for?
Rosa.
It was Sophie and Rosa for Une, and then removed the Kusith and the Leviathan, which is pretty much is this. I'm surprised he did the Sophie, because because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, multicolor counts for both, right? For Sophie?
Yeah.
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 So he could have just burned next turn and swung with only one of them and probably had lethal.
So he would have had to pay. He'd have to pay 3 for Sophie, which wouldn't be optimal, because he would have to tap the Toto. And
Well,
do
no, I'm
something
saying
else.
next turn he could have done it. Like, swing in
Yeah.
with one and then act like he's going to
Trust.
play it safe and then just play the Sophie.
Yeah, but I think he had. I think I'm following his line here. I think he had something in in the plan for Sophie.
He might have.
Yeah.
But we're down to the last segment here, and we're going to find out soon. There's only about a few minutes left of this, which you guys can probably see from the timeline.
So, yep,
Brian's-
taps Sarah, buff Warrior of Light, draw a card. Is that 2 Sarahs in his hand?
Not sure. Une for...
Tap Une.
Probably Ami. Oh, Kusith. Okay. That works too. And then he's going to cast the Kusith, grab Sophie, swing in with Warrior of Light, swing in with Fasoya, and if he needs a backup plan, he's got Sophie. Or Rosa. Rosa works.
Adding Rosa. Please don't tell me he's planning... Oh, wait. Does Jesse still have Minwoo? No, Minwoo's lost. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Oh, yeah, Minu's gone. Okay, so
Yeah.
Brian's
So-
just pinging. And then
Yeah, so he's going to
reactivate,
tap Warrior of
ping
Light,
again.
ping for 5k, Rosa reactivate. In response to Rosa reactivate, pitches Lunafreya to dull, put Leviathan back onto the field.
Yep, and then he's going to use the effects. Yeah, I think Brian could have had... Maybe he was playing a safer route, but I think he could have gone for a lethal the way I described. Maybe there's something
Yeah.
that he saw that I didn't about that situation, where he could just
Yeah,
swing
well-
in with 2 and then force lethal with Sophie.
Yeah, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because, like, so let's say he swings with Warrior of Light. Like, does Jesse really want to lose the Leviathan? I think knowing that Fasoya is also there, he eats the hit off of Warrior of Light, and then
Blocks
at the end of his
Fasoya.
turn, yeah. Well, oh wait, no, Jesse would have just blocked and then done the Lunafreya. Honestly,
Oh, that's fair, yeah. That's a good point. See, that's...
yeah,
yep,
like
that's the
because
detail
that's the
I
issue
missed.
is, yeah,
But that's why
because
Lunafreya
that's the issue.
exists.
That's why Brian. That's why this is such a weird matchup for Brian, because the thing is, Jesse just has all this like interesting tech, and he has no way of just dulling stuff. He has no way of just getting it down.
Ooh, he's
He
just
has to
short of Lena
always-
targets in the break zone.
Oof.
I think he's gonna play Lena anyway. Oh, he's playing Waka.
Waka Flocka.
Cecil. Boy,
Cecil's
what?
an interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but it's an interesting one.
But how much 4 are you running? Not a lot.
No, yeah, not really.
Wait,
Unless
was
he
that
has
the
a
5
Rosa.
drop?
That's
was
the
that the
5 drop from
5-drop,
Opus
Cecil?
2, one of my old
Oh
favorites
my
that I
god,
don't play
really?
anymore.
Oh, one sec. I have to reread that card.
He has to block. He's forced to block, and all your other forwards get 1k.
All
That's
other
his
forwards
effect.
gain 1k and don't receive damage from summons or abilities.
I forgot about the don't
Interesting.
receive a damage part. But that damage part is actually really good tech. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of neat. Problem is Warrior of Light exists, and he has to block it.
Yeah.
So that's, yep, ping, reactivate. Boop. And then draw a
Draw a
card. God, Warrior of Light should not draw a card. There is no reason
No.
that guy should draw a card.
I don't
the
know.
only complaint I have with
It is on cast, so I can't be too upset.
Yeah, but
no
like
Lunafreya.
it's not that hard to cast.
It's not. Well, it's not too hard to cast in a deck built around casting it. I think someone mentioned that in the chat today, where they said like,
Oh man. Like
Viwaka.
Waka just to get a backup off field. Now I think
sorry, what?
Brian is ready to have lethal. Swing in and ping.
Yep, and then Rosa untap swing.
Yup. And then Brian just goes in with Furion, who has haste and GG. There's the EX.
GG.
Wow. That
Wow.
took a long time to get there, man.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game.
Yeah, I saw the very end. I literally came over to like check on them as that Thornton hit damage at locals. So like I knew where it went, but I knew where things went. But overall, like that game was Jesse just holding on to all those answers and playing all those defensive options there. But I think Brian's deck was just a little bit better against it, and he was ready.
I mean, that's the thing about the deck is because Mono Water's main removal outside of Leviathan is bouncing stuff, and even Leviathan has bouncing stuff, you know. But the Warrior of Light deck is running so many good ETBs that you don't really care about it. You don't care about things getting bounced. I noticed that Jesse was running, I think, 3 of the 3-drop Leviathan, obviously because it's a good EX.
Right.
But even with the 6-drop Leviathan, like, you don't super want to bounce something entirely because, like, a Warrior of Light, like, you lose nothing by having a Warrior of Light bounce back to your hand. It can't attack that turn. It can't tap that turn. That's all you lose.
Yeah, the thing I think about for water, which is interesting and unfortunate. What?
I'm going to correct myself. You can tap it. You can play it again. Like, it's entirely because of the reactivations. You have to do it on your turn to get any value off of it, and at that point you're playing a summon on your turn at the least optimal time to play it. Yeah. And you're giving them back the Warrior of Light on cast ability.
Well, so the other thing is that I think water's use of the bounce needs to be offensive and not defensive, and I think that's where its shortcoming is in that matchup. Yeah. Specifically because you saw what happened there, where Brian was like, "Okay, I replay things for free, like I don't care." Like 9-drop Leviathan is a nasty good card. Any version of Leviathan bouncing back to hand is good, but they're good in that one specific scenario where you want to push for game, you want to make sure they have nothing to do with it or whatever, as opposed to using it to just kind of hang on and stonewall like you were saying before.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I think both players played fantastically.
Oh yeah, they did everything they needed to do.
I think Jesse had some very interesting tech. That Jet was did so much work in that matchup.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But ultimately, Warrior of Light is just crushing. Like, the deck builds up so much and it really pushes. So unless you're actively stopping them in a lot of ways, you're not gonna do too much.
Yeah, agreed. And that Shantotto early game, just to get rid of one card was mind blowing. But at the same time, I understood why he did it. It's just such an odd. It feels weird to see a Shantotto hit one forward, but you know exactly why, and it still feels weird.
Yeah, I could tell that Brian wasn't super happy to do that.
Yeah.
Entirely because it's just I'm really doing this to get rid of one forward. But at the same time, it gives him his color fixing backup. It gives him another fire card for Amaterasu. It gives him so much by just having that multi-element backup.
Yeah, and he gains more. I was going to say he gains more by having it on the field because he's not worried about water going wide. He's worried about the effects. So if he has that color fixing, it's more utility than if it's, a board wipe, which is a really weird thing to say about Shantotto, but here we are on ShantottoCast because Shantotto's a good card.
Yeah, Shantotto is pretty poggers. Even when she only hits one thing. You're overpaying for her if you only hit one thing. But she is non-targeted RFG, which to this day is amazing.
It's still the best board wipe.
Still the best board wipe. Our girl.
Our girl. All right, well, I think we should cut it there. So unless any objections are coming from you, I think that'll be it.
Nope. It was a good game. Wish I could have been there. But next time.
That's understandable.
Next time.
All right, well.
And because Brian is sitting so pretty at the end of this, I'd like to remind him to read Vanilla. And that's a joke only for us.
Oh, man. Yeah.
in case he watches this. All right.
Love you, Brian. All right, cool. Well, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and
right.
we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.